This Android phone is almost 8 years old. Most people would call it e-waste. And I don't think the hardware is to blame. It's the software. So I decided to remove Android completely and replace it with native Linux. And no, this isn't emulation. It's not a Linux app running inside Android. This is postmarketOS, a smartphone-focused Linux distribution built on top of Alpine Linux. When you boot up the phone, you're greeted with a clean desktop interface, a proper system shell, full root access, and the APK package manager. At first, the interface looks a little different, but after a few minutes, it feels just like using Linux on a desktop or laptop. Even the quick settings panel feels familiar. You can simply swipe down to adjust the brightness, toggle Wi-Fi, enable Bluetooth, and access all the controls you're already used to. And the best part is that you don't lose the smartphone experience. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, Hotspot, and messaging all work just like they do on a normal Android phone. And yes, phone calls work too. So this isn't just a fun Linux experiment, you can actually use it as your everyday smartphone while enjoying a full Linux desktop experience. Also, videos like this take a lot of time and effort to make. If Android and AI content is your thing, consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me keep making projects like this. Installing software is just as easy. All it takes is a single command. For example, here I'm installing NeoFetch. Just a few seconds later, it's ready to use. And if we check the system resources, you'll notice something impressive. Out of 5.4 gigabytes of usable RAM, the entire operating system is using only about 1.7 gigabytes. That's just how lightweight native Linux is. If you don't like using the terminal, that's not a problem either. The system comes with a pre-installed app called Software, where you can browse and install Linux apps with just a few clicks. And if the app you want isn't available there, you can simply use Flatpak, which gives you access to thousands of desktop Linux applications, including VLC, GIMP, LibreOffice, and many more. This also makes it a surprisingly capable machine for software development. For example, I installed VS Code, and it runs just like it does on any Linux computer. You can write code, install extensions, use the built-in terminal, and test your projects directly on the phone. And because this is a real Linux system, Docker works out of the box, just like on any Linux PC. You can run Docker containers natively without a virtual machine. For example, here I'm running the classic Hello World container, and as you can see, it works perfectly. Since it's a real Linux computer, SSH works too. From my laptop, I simply connect to the phone over SSH, giving me full terminal access. I can manage files, install software, run commands, and control the entire system remotely. At this point, you might be wondering, what about Android apps? That's where Waydroid comes in. I installed Waydroid with a minimal, debloated version of Lineage OS. Now I can install and use almost any Android app, just like on a regular Android phone. So instead of choosing between Linux and Android, you get the best of both worlds. And if you're not planning to use it as your daily phone, there's another great use for it. It can become a tiny 24/7 Linux home server. I can host my own services, and from any device on my local network, I can simply open a browser to access and manage them in real time. It's a solid workaround, but it's still a workaround. So before you even think about trying this yourself, let's be real for a second. First off, it's not exactly polished. There are UI glitches everywhere, and some Linux games don't even bother launching. They just give you a black screen and call it a day. And the real deal breaker is device support. Only a handful of phones are supported, mostly older ones. If yours isn't on that list, don't expect it to just work. So that's it. An 8-year-old phone that Android considered obsolete is now a real Linux computer. This isn't just a fun experiment. It proves old hardware was never the real problem, the software was. If you found this useful, drop a like and subscribe for more projects like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.